Hi everyone, my name is Andy Klingensmith. I'm on the interpretation team here at Shaw Nature Reserve, and I want to thank you for joining me for another Sights and Sounds Trail Series virtual hike. So it is springtime, it's been raining recently, and now I can feel the air becoming more humid, which means we're going to see some monumental changes here in the natural world. And we're already beginning to see things leaf out, green up, flower out, and there's so many colors around the nature reserve now. But this time, we're gonna go head off and explore the trails behind the Dana Brown Overnight Center, which is Shaw Nature Reserve's residential environmental learning campus. So today we're gonna check out both Jane's Wildflower Trail and Whitney's Deer Trail. Combined, they equal about 1.75 miles, so a nice little adventure. Both of these trails can be accessed by parking at the wetland parking lot and then hiking up Freund Ridge Road to the trailhead. So on this trail, we'll hike through these upper woodlands. We'll find ourselves exploring through the glades, and then we'll make our way down an elevation to the beginning of the bottomland forest, where we can still kind of peek over the floodplain of the Merrimack River. So no more than 50 feet from the trailhead, we come to one of our dominant tree species found here in the upper woodlands. So this is shagbark hickory, or Caria ovata. Really easy to identify if we look at the bark. Now this is a pretty young tree still, but we can already start to see how the bark of this tree starts to flare out or shags away from the main trunk itself. This bark is still, though, very much a part of this tree, so we don't want to be ripping this off because it provides a fantastic habitat for a flying mammal species that we find here at the reserve. So before we get into that, we want to take a quick look at their leaves. So shagbark hickory leaves are compound, meaning that coming from a single petiole, we find multiple leaflets. So there are 5 leaflets on this compound leaf. And this leaf is pinnately compound, meaning that groups of leaves are coming off of different points along the stem. So Caria ovata, or shagbark hickory, is a fantastic place that you might be able to see bats. So when bats are hunting and it gets really hot for them, instead of trying to fly away and find their resting and roosting places, oftentimes we can find bats tucked up under one of these flares for a respite from the summer heat. So every once in a while, if you get lucky, you can head up to one of these shagbark hickories and you can look straight up the tree, and every once in a while, under one of these flares, we'll see a tiny little puffball waiting out the heat of the summer and getting ready for dusk to come to start hunting again. So check it out next time you see a shagbark hickory. So without further ado, join me as I explore the sights and sounds of both Jane's Wildflower Trail and Whitney's Deer Trail. As we move down in elevation from the trailhead, we've actually been following the path that water takes as it sheds off this landscape. And now that we're down here in the bottomlands, more water has accumulated down here, which actually has changed the plant communities found here. So no longer do we see the oaks and hickories that we do in the upland forest, but down here, this area is dominated by giants. Those of the cottonwood and sycamore species dominate these bottomland forests. But in the understory, we find these awesome trees. So this is pawpaw, or Simina triloba, and all Missourians should know this tree because as of 2019, this tree is now our official state fruit tree. So the pawpaw tree is the official state fruiting tree of Missouri. And yes, this tree does produce a wonderful fruit. It's about the size of a pear, and I would say it tastes like a very, very, very sweet mango. It has that same consistency as a mango, but without the bitterness. So it's very sweet, nice, a nice summer snack. So hiking down Whitney's Deer Trail, I found myself surrounded by these plants that look very similar to poison ivy, but they're not. This is Rhus aromatica, or fragrant sumac, and while it does have leaves of 3, very similar to poison ivy, we look at the leaves and we notice the serrations, or the teeth, are found almost entirely around the outside edges of the leaves. Another great identifier of this plant species is that it grows in these colonies. So it's all around me, so it grows more as a shrub. It is alternately arranged, and once we've identified it visually as Rhus aromatica, we can go ahead and touch the leaves, and the leaves are very soft and they feel fuzzy. And this being fragrant sumac, you can also take a leaf, crush it in your fingers, and then smell your fingers. And it has a nice fragrance to it. So Rhus aromatica, or fragrant sumac. So go ahead and take these next few scenes as your ID challenge and test yourself on how many plants or animal species you can identify. All right, everyone, so I've made it to the end of the trail, which puts us out right here at the Dana Brown Overnight Center. So there are a couple ways to get back to the parking lot. You can head down the Freund Ridge Road, which is behind my right shoulder here, or you could head to my left. You can cut through the DBOC campus, and that will connect you with the Wetland Trail, which will take you right back to the parking lot. And I hope you did pretty well on your ID challenge, because remember, the better we are at identifying the plants and animal species found around us, the more connected we feel to this larger natural community. So thanks for joining me on another Sights and Sounds Trail Series virtual hike as we adventured along Whitney's Deer Trail and the Jane's Wildflower Trail. So I hope wherever you are, you're finding time to get outdoors, enjoy this beautiful spring weather, and don't forget to explore the sights and sounds in your area. I'll see you next time.